KOTG Tuesday.
What is up, everyone?
What is up? Man, look at this full crew, man. This is awesome.
I like it when the screen's filled up.
Got some
Roscoe.
good guests on tonight. Roscoe the dog making an appearance.
Oh, shoot.
Get him, Roscoe.
We just need Nate or Brent to slide in here somewhere and fill us up magically. Fingers crossed. They may not make it tonight.
What's the most we've had on? I don't remember.
Oh, my gosh.
How much we pushed?
I don't know the number, but it was a
usually
lot
6.
at once.
Yeah, this
On String Nerd?
Well, not on this one yet. I guess I was thinking way back on Zoom.
I think it's on Zoom. What do we have?
You could do 10, right?
I think we had a lot on the 1000th
Yeah.
episode, or no, the 100th episode. Some folks came on and joined us. That was crazy.
Jumping in and out.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys joining us tonight.
Well, this is episode 116, you guys. For the Keep Off the Grass
16.
Livecast. Tuesday nights, 10, 9 Central on YouTube.
I want to see some guests in chat. How many episodes they think we're going to get to?
don't even throw that
Before
out.
YouTube takes us down, is that what you're saying?
No. I just want to see
This is
people.
KOTG for life, Brian.
We're going to be in the 1,000 or we're going to be
Ride or
2,000. I just want to see some people type it out in chat, see what they think. So
We're going to pass it on to our
somebody
children.
says 117, I'm going to be mad. But if we're in the 5,000, then we're okay, you know?
KOTG is an institution now, you guys. Like, it will outlive us. So
That's
as
right.
we get old, we will pass it on to the next generation. They
To
will
our
just carry
kids.
on the torch.
Our kids will take
Lawn care
over.
session. Exactly.
Bill's already getting his kids out there, teaching them what to do in the
I
lawn.
gotta have
so-
some place to
Yeah,
be Tuesday nights, so
We'll
Holy
be like,
that.
Ole's little daughter will
Getting them kids outside, man.
be a legacy on here.
we'll have glasses and it'll be like a hologram. Like in like 20 years, it'll be like we're
We'll be in the
sitting there,
metaverse.
like sitting at a table virtually.
That'd be awesome.
All right, well,
Well-
that's the plan then, you guys. KOTG for life.
Yeah, we got to infinity. We got 1 million, so I think we're good. We're gonna go last for a while, but
All right, well, the
we can't
first
last
step, right?
without.
116.
glass.
We're almost there, you guys. Almost to 1,000. Episode 116. Keep off the grass. Let's all raise a glass and keep off the grass.
Yeah,
What are you drinking, Justin?
Okay.
me.
Bush.
Not a Bud Light?
I got some in the
Why we
fridge.
drink Busch. I wouldn't let it go to waste.
What's everybody else drinking? What would you have, Zach?
I just got it's a tiny bit of vodka, but it's mostly just a seltzer. So
Okay.
non-alcoholic
Nice.
one, but I had like a tiny bit of vodka I put in here.
So we got the OG Papa Mo's. What you got in your glass?
Yeah, what are you drinking?
Captain
Russ?
and Coke.
Captain
All
Coke.
right.
Nice. All right.
Eric,
how about you?
I saw that was your favorite drink to watch the grass grow, so that's
That's
good. To keep going.
Some high quality H2O.
Nice.
Hey, me too.
Now is that regular Coke or is that diet?
Mm.
The regular
Probably do
Coke
Diet
does a
Coke?
much better job at hiding the taste. What do you got,
Well-
Russ? You doing Diet Coke or regular Coke?
I seen a
Coke Zero.
study.
Coke,
Coke
Zero?
Zero.
I like the Coke Zero. That's a good flavor.
I seen a study where if you use diet Coke with your Jack or rum or whatever, you actually get drunk faster because your body doesn't have to metabolize the calories. You just get straight to the liquor.
Well, you just might as well just drink it straight then.
Yeah, you might as well
Right.
just take shots.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just a little splash for color.
Right.
There you go.
There you go. I got a little lemonade myself tonight, you guys. Taking it easy. Those little,
Hard lemonade or regular?
the little Mio ones where you squirt the little water, the
Oh
little
yeah,
flavor thing.
yeah.
you squirted it last week too.
I love it, man. We get them for the kids. And I'm like, well, shoot, I want a lemonade one, man. I'm getting that for myself. Forget this fruit punch garbage. Get that out of here. So, it's fun. Keeps me hydrated. Speaking of, we're talking about post-emergent herbicides, spraying and praying, right? Weeds and post-emergence tonight. I was doing a little studying for the show because I haven't used that many post-emergents really yet. So I'm hoping to learn something new from you guys, and maybe come up with a new concoction that you guys have had success with. I don't know. Where do you guys want to start talking about weeds and herbicides?
I mean,
What kind
what
of weeds you guys
weeds?
seeing?
Yeah, what weeds are people seeing right now?
Good question.
I've seen dandelions, at least,
Mhm.
because we just barely got into spring here in Utah. So a few dandelions popping up here and there, mostly in the neighbors' yards. So I'm trying to keep them from coming into my yard.
I
Not,
got
not,
a ton of dandelions.
Do you?
You?
No. Keep them out.
My next door neighbor has nothing but weeds. I told them I'd spray it out for them, but I was afraid if I did, then they would have nothing but dirt left.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
Piece of ground cover.
one of those.
Yeah,
I feel you on that one. My neighbor just
Mm.
had a True Green come out
Mm.
and sprayed and seeded, and he doesn't water, so I can only imagine what's going to happen out of that deal.
Well, they don't even know. They mow once a month.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what he does. Same thing. It's crabbed out.
Huh.
So
I'm on the tail end of our dandelion phase. I think most places those have already kind of went to seed and are just about done. But I haven't really noticed too much, coming out now. There's always clover that's always somewhere. There was a ton. I think it's the henbit, those purple ones that all kind of pop up at once. You see them along the highways and stuff. Those guys just kind of did their little whatever flowering. But between now and then, I don't see any POA yet. But that's probably coming. I bet you as it gets warmer, that'll start, popping its head up here soon. Because I think it was in the spring when I saw it last year coming up. But
Well, yeah. I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, you're probably not going to see it.
say that again.
If you haven't seen it yet, you're probably not going to see it. I don't think.
You
I
don't
mean,
think
you might be. I mean, as it gets warmer, it goes dormant.
Our bluegrass seed. There is bluegrass in my lawn, so I don't think that's an issue. And those are in the spots too where it seems to be there's more of a concentration of bluegrass. They're kind of struggling a little bit relative to like the thicker fescue stuff.
The POA would have beat your bluegrass. So
Okay.
he's
I would have
he's
seen that
saying-
first then. Gotcha.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. Sweet. All right. Well, that's a good sign then. Shoot.
Olee, you have any henbit? I know you were struggling with it maybe 2 years ago.
No, sir. I'm super clean other than some POA Triv. I'm super clean.
Cool.
So I got some stuff down in the fall and then early this year done an app of the TZ Select from Chemical Warehouse, and I'm super tickled with how clean things are right now.
well, that's what you're doing with the sod, right? You're cutting out POA and putting that in there.
POA Triv.
POA Triv.
Yeah.
So you killed that with a
first-
sponge, right?
Well, I did several things. The first day I got pissed and I used a backpack sprayer, so I killed way more good stuff than I should had. Then I done the glove and glove method to where I could control it a little better, and then that's when I discovered the dabber. So I wish I'd had the dabber first instead of 2 gloves and sticking your hands all in it, but I got it took care of. And then there's a couple places out there now that I'm going to try a plant growth regulator on, because the POA Triv cannot handle the regulation that the fescue can handle. So at the full rate for fescue, POA Triv can't handle it. So there's nothing that I have seen that works selectively that will leave the fescue but take out the POA Triv. So I think the plant regulator is going to be pretty cool to shut it down and then go back and backpack those spots. Because cutting the sod, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, especially by yourself. It's a lot of work.
Sure. Yeah,
At
most
least-
people use the Pro Plugger to cut out weeds or something like that, and then you got Olee over there cuts out whole sod pieces and replaces them with that size yard. So definitely a lot more work for sure.
Yeah, what do you use to dig it out, Olee? I mean, how big are these patches that you've been doing? Because I saw a couple of them. You had like this big kind of this square of it, but I know there's more that you've been hitting. Is it just because there's so many little spots, or is it large areas you're pulling up?
Well, where I use the backpack sprayer, you know, it sprays about roughly 20 inches wide, you know, as soon as you pull the trigger. And I should have took a 5-gallon bucket and cut the bottom out of it and then placed it over the trib and then sprayed and maintained.
Yeah,
you know,
just that spot. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's when like I say, that was when I was mad. And once I calmed down, I started getting better ideas. But I was just so tired of dealing with poetry because the first I went out and pulled it up by hand, pulled a lot of it out, seeded. But if you don't get all of the rhizomes, it will pop back.
Yeah.
It's just like now, like far as poetry goes right now, another couple of weeks, it's going to go dormant. So it's going to disappear and you don't think nothing about it. And then come back about November, somewhere in there, it's going to jump back and it's going to be an eyesore. And when it does jump back, because it's a rhizome,
More vigorous and bigger.
It just keeps taking,
Yeah.
you know. So I wanted it stopped. I mean,
yeah,
this year's the cleanest I've ever been. Normally I've had some chickweed or some henbit, you know, something in the yard that's limey colored that doesn't look good. And this year I have it is so thick and so clean. The poetry is my only issue now. So if I can get ahead of that, be super tickled.
I probably missed it, but when you cut that out, where'd you get your donor plug from?
From here, and I was supposed to be answering Bill, and I skipped it. But I'm getting ready to do the flower beds, cut an edge beside of the retaining wall, and each year I kept just seeding closer to the retaining wall, with wanting to use that sod. So I see if you have room, especially with fescue or bluegrass, if you have room and you can grow a little extra sod or turf, it's nice to use for repairs. Like I think I had about 20 spots that I sprayed, and I've replaced about 13 with the sod, and it's just done. Yeah. It's a lot of work, but it's done. But what I've done is I got a sod cutter. Luckily, I made some friends with some local landscape guys. They let me borrow it over the weekend, and it cuts a 18-inch wide, and then you can control the depth whatever you want. So, okay. In the first couple cuts, I thought, well, I'm gonna go all the way with it. It goes 2 1/4, so it'll cut 2 1/4. Once you cut 2 1/4 and you roll it up, that shit's so heavy.
Yeah.
Less. I mean, it's heavy.
Getting a lot of dirt with that. Yeah.
Yes. And then plus it don't roll as nice neither. So I started backing it off once I really got to messing with, which I'd never done that.
Sure.
Once I'd got to messing with it for a couple of hours, I ended up cutting 1.5 inches, and then it was pretty. It would roll nice. It's still heavy, but
sure.
Depending on how long, huh?
Have you seen if it has it like rooted?
Oh, it's hooking. I mean, you
really
in the places I've done. I don't remember what day I done it. I don't know if it's been a whole week yet or not, but it's latching down because I put some good stuff up under it and worked the soil up under it.
That earthworks in there.
Yes, sir. The mycorrhiza.
Yeah,
but you can't. I know where the spots are, and I think if somebody was here and I didn't say I fixed right there, I don't think you'd be able to tell it right now.
That's pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
It's a good idea having like a little side patch that you can kind of have ready. That
side patch, yeah,
exactly.
Side patch.
Side patch.
Not piece, just patch.
Just wait till next year. We're gonna have
Don't worry, dear. That's just my side
we're
patch.
gonna have
exactly.
Ole's gonna have a side business selling sod.
Well, I mean, in the
farm.
old days, I would think, screw it, I can get grass seed to germinate. I'll kill it, and I'll just throw more grass seed at it. But the thing now that I'm starting to learn is the hardest thing with fescue is getting it a year old. It's either drought, disease, some kind of problem, army worms, you name it. So if you can get fescue to at least get mature, get 1 year under its belt, it's way tougher, stronger, looks better. So now I'm looking at and thicker, just the density, everything is better. So now I'm like, I don't want to lose what I've worked so hard to grow.
Mhm.
So now I got to be smarter about how I attack things. But it's very, like some people are growing grass seed in pots and different things but if you can grow,
That's too young, right? It all looks so similar because it's so young. Like, I don't know. I don't see much of a difference when I've seen those videos, but if you get of a second or even third season, it'll look more like it would look like, right? Is that what you're getting at? Not mature yet. Yeah.
but I'm just saying it's good to grow extra because when you do have a repair, I mean, you just fix it. It's just done deal.
Yeah.
Fixed. Where if you put seed, then you got to water, then you got to chase after it. And then if it's too hot, it's not going to really take. Or if you've got some extra turf grown, you can just fix it. And then, water that sod a couple times and then it latches on and takes off.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. How big is the sod cutter machine? Like, is it something where it's got the big wheels or what kind of squish
Like a
and
mower.
dig it around?
It's basically the size of like a push mower or like a time master or something.
Oh, okay, so it's not that big
No.
and huge.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, it's probably good
cool.
20 inches wide.
Yeah.
Let's say it cuts an 18-inch wide, and then you can just saw as far as you want to walk. And what I done is I just sawed probably 50, 60 feet. And then whenever I went and cut out the other places, I would go measure how long they were and then go take a shovel and cut it and then roll it up and then go to that spot and roll it out.
Yeah, it just has like a little blade under it because I got one last year to clear out where I was putting my shed and stuff like that. And I did the same thing that Olee did. I was like, oh, 2 inches, that's probably about right, So I put it down 2 inches. Well, I didn't know that was going to be like 2 inches of dirt, underneath the grass. So I had to like roll it all up, haul it away with a wheelbarrow. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, this is heavy. So then when I did the front side, when we laid down concrete and extended our driveway, I lowered it down to an inch because I was like, that's pretty much what you get from the sod farms is like the inch on there. So yeah, but yeah, it just kind of goes under and starts sawing off down below.
Back to Post-Emergents. Do you guys mostly spot spray or do you blanket spray the entire lawn? Is like blanket spraying the lawn like part of your, routine? Your spring lawn care. Do you blanket spray or do you spot spray?
Blanket.
All at once.
And the reason for it is I used to spot spray. And you get lost. You walking around. Like I used to keep tennis balls on the mower. And if I seen something, chunk of tennis ball over there because couldn't find it later, But chunk of tennis ball out, come back, spot spray. But the problem with spot spraying is there's going to be something under the canopy that is germinating or slightly growing that you'll never see.
To come back next week.
If you go around, you just keep chasing your tail.
Yeah.
Spot.
That does make sense, especially with a yard your size, right? I mean, I could probably get away with spot spraying. That's what I did last season. And, we'll see how the lawn looks going into the end of the season. If there's summer weeds to kind of get through, but right now it's looking pretty good. There's just maybe a few things around the corners, the edges and stuff, these sidewalks and flower beds and whatnot that I just haven't hit yet. But yeah, I could definitely see how doing a blanket spray for you would be way easier. Basically cover your bases all at once.
I'm wanting to blanket spray this year, but I'm not, because I have a pull behind sprayer, but I'm not 100% confident with it, and I'm a little nervous, kind of being what about it. But I just like I can shut it off, like I can stop it from spraying and start it, but I mean, I'm still trying to figure out my pattern as far as to get it even and not, so like I almost need to do like a perimeter, like 2 perimeter passes, 2 deep, and then go through and then shut it off once I hit to where my perimeter is and turn around, start it back up. So like, it's just, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. And not like, double pass something and risk, because if I do it, I want to make sure I get an accurate application. Otherwise it's a waste or it's going to hurt. So that's kind of what. But that's my goal. That's my plan. Is here whenever the wind isn't bad or weather's good, I'm going to blanket spray everything.
So
So
what's
when you guys
the-
blanket spray, are you hitting like all the weeds you can think of, or are you spraying for something specific?
It's a good question.
Yeah, like what are you spraying too? Like I know,
Yeah.
you know, Olee, you said you're using the TZ Select. That looks like it's some kind of a combo.
Mhm.
And then
It's
Zach, what would
basically
you use when you do your spraying?
So I'm mostly going after clover, and I have some triclopyr. And I was going to probably run triclopyr, and then maybe that's the nice thing about, you know, spraying. You can mix a bunch of stuff in there. So,
Yeah.
you know, clover is the main thing I've seen. And so, like, I mean, triclopyr will take out quite a few other things too. But like, you know, I may put something else in there, like I don't know, pretty much going after clover.
Yeah. Olee, have you used that TZ Select before, or is this your first time spraying it?
Well, in the past, I would run a 3-way and spike it with triclopyr, but it's just easier to buy the TZ Select that has the triclopyr already in it. But yeah, this year was the first year using that. Yes, sir.
And then, so the idea there is like it looks like a couple of them, they work differently. A few of them at least do. And then the other ones probably cover different broadleafs that the other one doesn't or something. So the combo kind of makes it more efficacious essentially versus getting one or two of them separate to do. That's the idea behind it.
The biggest thing as far as triclopyr is it's an ester base, so it works better in the cooler weather. Like I sprayed that months ago. I'd have to look at my notes, but I sprayed that months ago.
What about you, Justin? What, as far as weeds go, do you blanket spray your lawn, or do you?
I'm really bad at weed care. I usually just mow them.
I'm the same. That's
Blended.
pretty much what I do.
Hey, yeah, sure. The
But
lawn's thick, you can't even see them from far away.
Yeah, I'm getting really sick of dandelions and other crap popping up. I don't know what it is because I'm mowing so short and so often. You just see these little green leaves and then they disappear for a day and then they come back. I don't know. I'm excited to listen to everyone because I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of them now.
Hey, do you have one of those
Lindsay-
weeders?
Yeah, Lindsay
you
makes
use
one of
of
those.
Yeah, I was gonna, yeah. I mean, we might have to give a couple away tonight, you guys. I don't know. Have you used one of those yet, Justin? Do you have a weeder?
This is my weeder. That's my weeder.
All right.
I just
Well, with it
stick
short,
it in
that
and
worked
pop
pretty
it
good.
out.
Yeah.
I got
Oh, yeah.
similar to that.
Okay. All right. Those of you guys with shorter heights of cut, just kind of pop them out.
Well, hey, since we're already talking about that awesome weeder, let's go ahead and let everybody know that Lansy, as awesome as they are, big supporters of Keep Off the Grass livecast, and our viewers have offered to give away 3 Lansy weeders to you guys in the live chat. And of course, pop it. So let's go and get names now, and then we can just keep talking on for the rest of the time. We'll do drawings later on in the show. So if you guys would like to get one of those cool weeders, you don't have one already, type in Lansy, Landzie, in the chat, and I'll start taking names for that. But shout out to Lindsay for doing that for our viewers.
Yeah, man, they do work. I was kind of skeptical at first, but
So
after
what
playing
about
around
you,
with it-
Derek?
So I'm off a fresh renovation from last August, September. I did a full burn off. I was 100% Bermuda when we bought this house. And I did 3 applications of Roundup Pro with the high glyphosates on it. And I did a full turn and burn on it with tall fescue. I did a pre-emergent application during seeding with Tenacity. That's been my go-to. I love some Tenacity. It's some good stuff. If you know how to use it. If you don't, I've learned the hard way. I've limed out my whole yard. It looked like a lemon for
Oh,
a good
man.
solid month one time.
Went a little heavy there.
So, yeah, I did go heavy. So then this spring, I noticed some poana was coming in, and I knew the neighbor was pretty well thick with it, and I saw it coming up, and so I just started digging, and I found an article from 2010 that Iowa State Turf Management did. They did a test with Tenacity, breaking down the single application into 4 separate littler applications with 10-day intervals. So I hit those guys up on Twitter. They responded fairly quickly, and they still to today still do that Tenacity application on their practice fields for their weed control. So I did it. And I would say probably 95% of my poana and anything else that I had is gone. I'm a pretty clean yard, as Olee would say. So I'm very happy.
This is Poa A, not Poetriv.
No, that's Poa A. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would do against Poetriv. I guess it would probably have the same.
Probably not, with it being a perennial. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say yes or no, but it worked very well. It's I have a little bit on the edges still, but the majority of the yard it's all gone. I actually have Shifty's on it. He's on that plan right now. He's getting ready to go with his 3rd application, and it's working very well for him as well.
That's cool.
And I think I told Steel Cut too. I don't know if he's doing it or not, but I know I let Brent know through a private message on that trick. So he's going to try it as well to see how it works out for him.
So if you do have Poa annua, that's the one that's annual. I'm guessing then if those go to seed, those seeds are, those will germinate next year. That's what makes it tough, and that's why it kind of gets a little bit for this right now. Triv is a perennial. Are those seeds mature when they go to seed too?
Well, see, your Triv hardly ever goes to seed because you're mowing.
Okay.
You're mowing, right?
Annual is such a short plant that you don't really cut it.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that an annual plant, one plant will put off like 6,000 seeds.
Yeah, there's a lot of them on there I had a bunch of that last year, and there were seeds everywhere. All of them. If all of those are fertile, then that could spell issues next year.
Well, the fact of how long they can stay dormant, they can stay dormant up to almost 3 years. They can just sit there.
And that's why some people put down pre-emergence in the fall, because that prevents them from germinating in the spring.
Like
the reverse of crabgrass.
So I probably already had it. So when I did my yard scaping and everything, and I threw the peat moss over top of my seed and everything, as soon as you disturb it, I introduced new life to it. So that's probably where that came from. Hopefully this trick took care of most of it from now on, but we'll see.
So you spray the sprayer?
It's took care of what you see visually now. It doesn't mean it's going to take care of what's laying in the soil for next year.
Right.
Yeah, if stuff hasn't germinated, it's just going to be sitting there waiting. But that would be kind of like anything else.
Still, I mean, maybe hopefully you can get it thick and keep it thick, and and then it's not going to, you don't have as many opportunities to pop up. That's kind of what.
She more thick than I thought it was to be off for 1 year.
Is that right?
Yeah. I put 200. I probably overseeded way too much, but I put 200 pounds on 6,200 square foot. So she's thick.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you about to have some disease then.
Yeah, be careful of that.
I'm gonna go pretty heavy this fall. I'm not gonna be ripping up my yard, but I'll go pretty heavy. It's doing pretty good, but there are some thinner areas I want to thicken out. Now the only post-emergent I've really used, so I've used Sedgehammer Plus for nuts edge in the past, and that's worked really well for me. Spot spraying the sedge or the nuts edge with the Sedgehammer, and then I used quinclorac when I was going to get ready for kind of a more aggressive kind of overhaul. And that worked pretty well. There were some weeds that I don't think it got. I think it was more the grassy weeds that maybe I needed to put more on it or do a second application to really knock those out. But it worked pretty well.
Is that when you had that blue dye in there? It looked like freaking Gatorade.
Yeah. That was a blue dye. I mean, I put a ton in there, and I wanted to be able to see it.
Well, that was cool. Hey,
that's tough.
Speaking of that, does anybody use dye? when they're spraying?
I have not.
I've used it before, but
It's so goddamn messy.
Yeah.
It is messy.
I mean, it is, yeah.
A couple years ago, I spot sprayed my whole backyard, and I just walked around with my backpack sprayer, zzz, 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 and I used the blue dye. And then when I was done, I just had like polka dots everywhere.
Yeah.
So like my neighbor was like, what is that? Like he thought something was wrong with the lawn, and I'm like, no.
What
And
kind
then
of
it
fungus
just
is that?
it took longer to grow out than I thought, so I'm not doing that again. But
The dye I used when we got a heavy rain, it was gone. Like it was off the sidewalks. It was gone. It was like some I just got it from Amazon, some biodegradable blue dye, and I just put a ton of it in there. But
I
yeah, it
used
went
the
well.
dye when I did my kill off. That's it.
Yeah.
Just make
I
sure
used
got it
blue
all.
dye, and my blue dye took like 8 showers to get off my skin.
yeah,
Dang.
it takes a while to scrub it.
so that's
I don't know how, man. Somehow it's like on my eyebrow, on my elbow, down my shorts. I'm like, what happened here?
It's crazy out there and dry
Hey.
fungus, man.
That goes to show you. That goes to show you. Whenever you do mix up something, you need to be more careful.
Where it all goes.
I mean,
That's
that-
true. That's true.
PPE.
Think about
Mm-hmm.
that. Everything else you touch, and
Mm-hmm.
My lawn's pretty clean this
Wash
year.
your hands.
I used Certainty and Celsius last year. This year, hadn't had the need to it. I guess my pre-emergent application did pretty well. But along my fence line is where I struggle because the people behind me don't maintain that part of their yard. So weeds creep underneath my fence.
Sure.
So, and Celsius and Certainty is pretty expensive. So I don't like to use it unless I absolutely have to. So I'm going to try this Solventure Zone along the fence line. It's a lot cheaper. It's supposed to be pretty good stuff. I'm going to try to keep battling the weeds there along the fence, and I'll probably go behind my fence and spray into their yard a couple feet
Go to bed.
to try to kill off some of their weeds. But that's what I'm doing this year. But otherwise, my yard's pretty clean. I don't think I pulled 2 weeds out of it this year.
you're warm. You're the only warm season one.
Yeah,
huh?
you're in a different. Yeah, you're in a total different boat.
Of course, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I have an Allet reel mower. Allet claims that scarifying your yard helps keep the weeds out of it, and I did a lot of scarifying at the beginning of the season in February and early March. Got a lot of the thatch out and everything, so my lawn's pretty clean, and it's probably the cleanest it's looked since I moved here.
That's awesome.
Now you don't do any overseeding. You just feed it and let it spread. Correct?
That's right. Matter of fact, I got a spot by my driveway by the garage that I ripped out 3 azalea bushes because I don't mean to offend anybody, but I do not like azalea bushes. They only bloom for a week and then turn brown, and then they're all over your yard. So I ripped those out, and I just put down a thick layer of sand, and I'm just going to use my Pro Plugger and plug in some plugs over there and let it fill in.
You real mow, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, and yours is Bermuda, so right, so it's like not really seed. You can't do a lot of seeding for Bermuda.
You can, but you get a lot of flack if you do. Everybody says you can't seed Bermuda, but I don't know of many pure strands out there anyway.
Yeah,
Everybody's going to have a little bit of common in their grass anyway.
yeah.
So you got rid of the bush.
Got rid of the bush. It's gone. Start with
Everybody
a
likes
clean
a good
slate.
bush.
Nice.
Did it make your yard look bigger?
Oh yeah, my driveway's wide.
Nice and wide. That's
Sweet.
awesome.
So yeah, what else is people seeing? Like dandelions, clover. Nobody's seen anything funky? Like
Well, there was some other stuff in the chat, stuff I hadn't heard before.
I did have some onion grass coming up, which that's like it's like Solventure Zone takes care of that. Sedgehammer, it's like a sedge, so it's like one of the ones where you don't want to pop the nut. But I have some of that coming up in just a few spots. But actually, after I mowed it a couple times, it really kind of just went away. But
I
Onion, like wild onions?
Yeah.
Or wild garlic?
No, it's like wild onion. Yeah.
A lot of times it's actually wild garlic.
You should eat it.
I
See
pulled
what
up. It's got like a harder stem. It's
Mm-hmm.
so like Ahon Lawn said he was getting orchard grass.
That's what it was. I was trying to find it.
yeah, this is exactly it. Wild onion. Is exactly what
What is orchard grass?
orchard grass.
It's a cool season.
It's not really. It's kind of. I think you almost have to use glyphosate to kill it.
Glove in glove or paintbrush.
Yeah. I have some orchard grass out by the field.
Still Cut Lawn has some wild violet.
Man, will you quit making so much racket over
I've seen some of that.
there? Set your big ass down and be still.
Yeah, Adam Barlow has Creeping Charlie and Quackgrass.
Oh, the quackgrass, yeah.
Quackgrass already?
Yeah. And I was
Anyone dealt with Russian thistle, aka tumbleweeds?
Is that what that is?
They actually grow in my yard.
Really?
Like, in the less maintained areas in the back. Yep.
Didn't you show us what they look like when they're not all
He
tumbleweedy?
opens his gate up and just kind of lets them out every year and lets them roam around.
They're really fun to pull because they just have like one long tail. You just yank it. It's awesome.
How heavy are those? Is that a heavy when they're big like that? Are they heavy?
No, they're like
Yeah.
ounces when they're all dried up, rolling around
Well,
like that.
they're probably dropping seeds everywhere when they're out rolling around.
Yeah. They're
Oh
probably,
yeah,
bouncing around, popping
balls of
seeds
weed.
everywhere.
I mean, everything is here to reproduce, whether it be human,
Weed.
grass, weeds, trees. I mean,
You say a human? A human?
a human, us,
Human.
retards, us. I'm probably not supposed to use that word.
Yeah, man, you got to procreate. That's the whole point. If you don't do
Yep.
that, you don't stick around long.
What's the point, right?
But I mean,
What is,
but seriously, everything's weeds, dandelions, you name it. It's here to reproduce. It's here to
Oh yeah,
survive.
out here in the desert, if you don't have a area maintained, those Russian thistles will just pop up all over the place.
Is it just like dropping seed if it's bouncing around, like seed and everything? Is that how it
sure.
kind of spreads? Is it,
Yeah.
or is it just like
Just bouncing
know.
balls and yeah.
you just get blown?
Yeah, that's exactly its
Well,
whole
just-
purpose. Is that
Mhm.
as it rolls, it just drops seeds everywhere.
Yeah.
What do you do with them? I mean, how do you clean them up?
Burn them. Yeah, you burn them.
You burn them?
Yep.
It's like,
Do you have to
allowed
take it
are you
somewhere
allowed
and
to
they
burn?
do it, or do you do it yourself in your backyard?
Put them in a big hole and just burn them. You can Justin has like a burn barrel. You could put a bunch in like a burn barrel, but there were so many. Our city actually, there's like this water retention pond, I guess thing they call it, and they used it one year to just dump a bunch of. They actually dropped off dumpsters in everybody's neighborhoods.
Really?
And you would fill it all up with the tumbleweeds, and they'd go dump it in a hole and just burn them.
Nice.
Fire.
What is buttercup? See somebody.
They
said
burn
buttercup.
fast and hot.
Yeah.
Looks like a little bitty dandelion.
I think that's when you.
Buttercup.
That's what I
Stop.
was thinking.
Never mind then.
That's what I was thinking, Justin.
Thought it was something else.
Oh.
I don't know.
Whoop.
Google it.
Yeah, I've seen that too, Derek. Lawn Radiance, some trees start growing. Yeah, some long roots.
So I was curious, and I wanted to see what kind of post-emergence you can get from Home Depot. Like, what's the Weed Be Gone and the Spectricide Weed Stop stuff? And it looks like, for the most part, most of those are some combo of the 2D4, dicamba, maybe quinchloric in there. It's basically like that kind of group. They're all somewhat similar. Would those be the most common that you guys think, most regular homeowners would use? And do you think those would work very well? Have you guys ever tried one of those, compared to buying one of the ones that you get from, online for more specialty plays?
I've used the Spectracide before. That's what I used the first several seasons with decent results. Wasn't the greatest, but it worked pretty good. The key is you got to put it down when there's still like dew on the ground, so it'll stick to the weed.
Yeah, that's one thing I was looking at. It's like, so how do you properly apply? Because I said some are systemic, some are going to absorb through the leaves, right? So you a lot of them have adjuvants or some kind of I don't know. My stuff recommends methylated seed oil. I also have the non-ionic surfactant. Do you guys mess with that? Does that help improve it? Have you guys noticed a difference using it and not using it?
Depending on what you're after, if you're after like the wild garlic or possibly wild onion, you need something to help break down that waxy plant.
Sure.
Or it won't take in the herbicide. Depends on what you're after.
Back to what you were saying about the big box store ones. If you look at the ingredients, a lot of them are the same ones that we were talking about. Just maybe in like a less form, like just lower percentage.
Yeah, like already diluted down and
Sure. But I mean, a lot of it is the same. It's the same stuff. Like,
so do you guys still use Roundup? Like every time I look at the Roundup, I'm like, oh, this is like in lawsuits and cancer causing and all this kind of stuff. Do you guys, anybody still use Roundup?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
I use it in my flower beds.
Yeah.
Well,
now they have one. It's like a wand, and now it has like a little cup above it to maybe like kind of direct it more. There's not much overspray. Have you guys seen that?
Sure. Yeah.
The crazy thing about it's glyphosate, 41% glyphosate.
mm-hmm.
But glyphosate is in so much stuff that you eat every day that you don't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding, it's in our cereal. It's in a lot of your bread. It's possibly in the beer. And the reason for it is whenever, beer. Because when they go out, when a farmer goes out to a field, most of the time they'll be spraying glyphosate on the last crop and seeding right in the ground. So that way it sort of cleans up and then the new crop pops out. So it's everywhere.
Well, that's great.
Yep.
I drink a lot of beer, so.
Now you just say you drink a lot of glyphosate.
And he's still around.
Yeah. Hey, my understanding is it keeps your armpits clean.
Sounds like it's time for KOTG Lawn of the Week.
Yeah.
Guys.
Oh.
Spring is in full force. We got some sexy submissions this week. A lot of folks are hitting that hashtag, which is awesome. If you're not familiar with KOTG Lawn of the Week, when you're on Instagram, posting pictures of your lawn or reels, use hashtag KOTG Lawn of the Week. Enter in our little weekly contest. Lawn of the Week winner gets their choice of Pro Pete fertilizer from Home Depot. Any ratio that they have online, 25-pound bag. They'll ship it to your front door. Stiff competition, you guys. It's a good time of year, man. So many lawns are looking good. This year we have a new first-time winner, long overdue. He has no idea, but Papa Mo's Low.
He's everybody's Papa.
Yeah.
That's tonight.
That's a big old whoa.
About time.
Papa Mo's Low.
Let's go.
Look at
that.
Yeah, man.
He's got that tree cleared out and is looking good.
You can see where the tree was, right in the middle.
Yep.
It's
It filled in good
Looks
though.
good, man. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Look at that, man.
And we got him just
4
in
tons
time.
of sand.
He just put 4
Damn.
tons of sand down.
Shoo.
So hey,
Level
with
up.
this, so are you cutting like, okay, you're like make it look like a fairway or something. Like, how are you doing that? Like, where you have like the strip? Is that like a slope there?
Yeah, the left-hand triangle there, that's a big slope in my backyard.
Huh.
And then it levels off. The rest of it's level. But that right there, there's a big hill behind me.
Aha.
And it starts right there and goes up that section of my yard. So it's the easiest way for me to mow that is straight. And then the flat part, I crisscrossed or, I mow it in different directions, but I just mow that slant.
His backyard's got some cleavage.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you irrigate off a well by the stains, don't you?
No, I just drag a hose.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But where we live, there's like 8 limestone quarries in this city. It's a small
it's
little
rich.
town, and so it's a lot of water through the limestone. A lot of sinkholes around.
What's your pH around? Do you know?
It's. I think my last test it was like 6.7.
Oh, okay, that's right on.
Man, I like the ferns.
So do the birds. I pull a bird nest out every day.
Yes, sir. Yeah. we can almost eat bird eggs as many as we keep getting.
Dang.
I can't find any good ferns up here yet, Olee.
Man, she found some ferns, and they are bigger than a 55-gallon bucket. I mean, they are.
Oh, my.
I mean, a 55-gallon drum. They're huge.
Wow.
But like you say, the birds love to nest in them.
Yeah, they do. And then we have a wreath on the front door. They nest in that too. Well, man, I'm poked about that.
But
Yeah.
congrats.
Congrats there, buddy.
When we were talking about, and we mentioned your name, a few of us were like, he hasn't won yet? Like,
Yeah, we were
we
shocked.
all,
go
we
back
all
and
kind of
double
thought
check,
you
like,
won
oh.
already.
No,
You're
I've been wanting. That was my goal this year was to win this year.
Well, awesome. Definitely.
Well, it's early in the year, so what's your goal now?
Yeah, what's you gonna do the rest of the year?
To get it more level and greener and shorter. Right now I'm just below half an inch, and I'm wanting to take it down a little bit lower.
Ooh.
So you have what, every other day cutting?
Yeah. Well, a couple weeks ago, right before I top dressed, I was mowing every day. But I'll probably go every other day when I start putting PGR on it.
I was gonna say, have you done that before? What are you gonna go with?
I use Primo Max.
What's the active on that?
The reason I use it is because you can buy it in a smaller quantity, and I don't want to spend the big amount of money on the big jug of T-Nex. It's the same stuff as T-Nex, same
Oh, okay. Yeah.
same formula. So Primo Max is a little bit. My wife doesn't get quite as upset when I buy that as opposed to a couple $100 on something.
How long does it take you to mow the whole yard?
If I'm just mowing, probably 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
If I scarify and mow, about an hour and a half. And then my next goal though is I want to get a power scissors so I can get the edges a little bit cleaner. Than it'd be a lot easier mowing that low with power scissors than it would be a string trimmer.
It looks like a fun tool to use too.
Yeah.
The best thing is it doesn't throw stuff everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It doesn't.
Sure.
It doesn't sling.
Not like a weed eater.
Yeah.
Or even an edger too. Edger flings stuff, especially if you're
Yeah.
A
catching your
string,
edges.
but a string trimmer is terrible of throwing stuff. And then
Yeah.
when you're not edging, it's all over your pants legs or whatever. To where the scissors are very clean.
I was looking back through some old videos trying to find a discount code.
I got one. I need to see if it's any good, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, appreciate that. Because my wife told me to get one. Because she's gotten real funny because, if I don't cut the grass, she's like, don't you need to be out there cutting the grass? It looks like it's getting a little long. And I'm like, it's under a half an inch. What are you talking about? So,
Yeah.
Well, now you get to join a cool Discord chat with all the other
Yeah.
winners, and I'm sure they'll be happy to have another real mower in there.
I'm going to have to stay up and have another drink tonight.
All right.
There you go.
You deserve it. I'm super pumped to have you in the club. It's been a long time coming, so I can't wait to get off here and send you the invite to the Discord. So
Tell them about that, Justin. Tell them what you're talking about.
oh, it's we don't let just any old people in it. It's only the winners. Oh, I'm full screen now. Oh. So yeah, we only let the KOTG Lawn of the Week winners in, and it's just a place where we hang out. We talk a little trash and share some lawn tips and just have a good time. So nothing too crazy, just it's a nice place.
Looking forward to it.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah, it's great. Those guys are all smart. Every time I have a question, I can ask there, and there's a lot of smarty pants on there, and a lot of different opinions. So
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's
there's
fun.
probably a lot of knowledge in that group chat. If anybody has
incredible,
questions
dude.
or problems, it's a good group.
yeah,
to have
it's
as a
insane.
resource, if anything, for sure.
So which Pro Pete you going to go with
My favorite 1704.
in the greens grade?
Oh yeah.
Nice
That-
choice.
That's the only granular I've been putting down the last 2 years with great results. The color when it's popping during the summer, the color, it's unbeatable with that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I ever put down the greens grade, I put down way too much. I wasn't prepared for how small that was. But since then, kind of getting the hang of it and knowing to kind of dial back the spreader, it flows well. It's nice to put it down. It's rather than the big granules. I don't know. I had this like internal. If I can't see it covering it as it goes out, I feel like I'm going to miss spots. So I like that. It's just kind of this fan of little granules.
Could you imagine spreading their ultra?
I would just get it blown in the wind, man. All the wind we've had, shoot, my neighbor will get it more than me, probably.
So John actually gave me a bag of 1704 Ultra, and I put it down. I just put it down because I have a drop spreader now.
I was gonna say
You guys-
drop spreader, yeah.
Oh,
you don't see
nice.
my
There you
go.
little
That's
Scott's my Scott's drop spreader. So yeah, I put it in there, and that's the only way because I had my little spiker spreader hand one. I was
Yeah.
like, "There's no way, man! This thing would like catch in the wind and just blow over to the neighbors or something." So
It's wild.
I actually put some of it down recently. So
How's the lawn looking, Brian? Was it
it's waking
for you?
up. Yeah, it's waking up. Pro Pete's a little slow release, so it'll be popping here in the next little bit, but it's almost time for another little mow. So I'm
Nice.
excited.
You guys getting rain yet?
Nope,
Not yet.
not yet. We're supposed to have some of the forecasts the next few days. At least my Ratio controller says so.
Nice.
You got your irrigation rolling?
Oh yeah, I turned it
You do, yeah.
on Saturday and watered in all the stuff that I put down on Saturday. So
Nice.
it was a little crispy. Everybody in town's like, wait to water. And I'm like, no, it's crunchy when I walk on it. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of water.
I'm all about waiting to water, but once it turns that starts to get that purpley hue and starts to get a little crunchy, I know it's ready. So I hit mine Sunday. So
Does
Yeah.
anybody else on here do the molasses trick besides Olee?
No.
I do want to try it.
Trick.
You should try it.
It works.
Papa, you need to try it.
Well, I didn't know if it worked on warm season grass. I needed to do a little research on that. I imagine it would.
Yes, sir.
Probably better. Warmer's better.
It'll help you keep the canopy clean too,
Mm-hmm.
because it fires up the microbes to chew on, dead plant material. So keep things clean in the canopy.
I'm gonna try it.
Me,
Now that I'm in the club, I don't have to worry about if it goes to shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Hey.
experiment now.
Yeah. Just
It ain't-
start
it ain't-
trimming.
it ain't going to shit over molasses. I'll promise you that. And the worst thing is you'll waste $10 because it's $10 a gallon. But the cool thing is it contains iron, minerals, potassium, calcium, and then you get some sugar from it. So
All right, I'm gonna try it.
and then it smell good too.
I was gonna say, I was wondering if it had a smell to it.
It does.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like
Yes, it
sugary honey or sweet to it.
You ever
Don't drink
Taste
too
it?
much.
Yeah, it's not good.
really?
No, it's not like it's not like honey.
He's like,
Yeah.
You know, molasses isn't blackstrap molasses is really not that good. I mean, it's sort of bitter.
It's good for the bugs.
But actually, the bugs don't like it.
really?
It's crazy. They like
They
table,
stick to it.
they like table sugar.
You mean
But
like
they don't
he's
like-
talking about the micros?
Right, I was talking about microbes.
Oh, that
I was
kind of
well, that's
bug.
what I thought it was for.
Yeah, those.
And not like ants and shit. I don't give a fuck about ants.
No, it runs the ants off.
All right, well,
Especially
there you
fire
go.
ants.
Interesting.
Hmm.
They're afraid of getting
Good to
stuck
know.
or something.
Wonder how that works against mosquitoes.
That's a good question.
Hey, what about
As
that?
often as we do it.
I don't know about that. I know that I'm getting a new one of those backpack battery flow zone foggers, and I'm gonna start treating for mosquitoes here because I hate mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get those crane flies really bad, but I've been using that Miramichi Green pest control in the Petra fogger.
Mhm.
The only thing I don't like about it is you got to drag a cord with it. I wished it was battery operated.
Flow zones, they got one that's battery operated.
Might have to try it out.
Yeah, dude, I would hate dealing with cords. Like if I had a cordless dethatcher, I would buy that in an instant. Having to drag that extension cord around the yard. is
It's such a
irritating as
pain in
shit.
the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got them. We talk about this a lot.
Greenworks.
I know, but I just got to get one now. That's what I'm saying. I got to get one because I hate that cord.
Yeah, tripping around on it, trying to.
Even though what,
Oh.
Brian, you got yours for what, $40?
Yeah, super cheap.
So
I want
if I could get one for $40, I mean,
I want
what
that scarifying option on one because
I
mine
got the
doesn't have
corded.
scarifying.
I got the corded one on Amazon for like $40. It was an open box return. And I was like, well, I'm gonna take a shot here. Hopefully the damn thing still works. And she worked like a champ.
Yeah,
They're more
so
expensive
this
now,
has
too.
the prong things in it for detaching, and then I'll also have the verticut. I guess it's what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Verticut attachment. I haven't
Is that the
used that one
Sunjoe?
yet.
Yeah. So I have the Greenworks one. It doesn't have that verticut option, which is like, oh, I'd like to have that.
Yeah, I got the one that you have, Bill.
Yeah. It works fine. It just doesn't have that feature which I want. Speaking of weeders, you guys, we have a couple to give away.
Whoa, we do.
well, hey, hold on. Somebody's in the chat that has a question.
Hey, here he is. He's here. What's up, Nate? How's it going, man? Welcome to the show.
He must be on the road.
Lord have mercy.
So what is the ratio for our
I
hey
can't
Olee, what's the rate for
Molasses.
molasses?
Me?
How much per gallon?
Oh, is that what he said? He needs to come on that upper lip.
He's a ventriloquist.
Somebody asked me if ProFlex is what I bought for the mosquitoes. ProFlex.
Okay.
Mm. You're gonna fog that
I'm gonna fog it.
Proflex.
I'm gonna fog it, man. I'm gonna fog it. All the green giant Lethusias and all the bushes around the house. Because I think mosquitoes like a different type of like a different blood type. Because I can be standing beside of somebody and they'll eat the shit out of me and they will not touch the person beside of me. I don't know what they after, but
They're too sweet.
I don't know. I was always told it was shit in your blood, but they like me for some reason, and I can't stand it, man. I get well.
They like my ankles.
Yeah. All right.
Kids
So
will
yeah,
scratch the shit out of themselves, and then they just makes it worse and worse. That's the part that pisses me off. It's like, damn it, kids, just stop. But they can't help themselves. I
The
get it.
most important question of the night, though, is where's the belt?
That's a good question.
yeah.
I haven't even seen it yet, Papa. And that was episode 91.
Damn.
Yeah, no, it's like
We need to get a second bell is what we need to do. That would make things twice as fast.
Yeah.
so I think
really, I
it
don't
was
know
weekend lawnmower just had it, or
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, he posted up. He had it.
yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah,
does
it's
take
taking-
time to get it out, make the rounds.
It's hard, man. You get like it shows up at your house, and you got to be ready because you get like a day or two before you have to send it on, and it's still weeks behind. And then, every time it makes a little extra stop somewhere for a little too long, it just pushes it out. So
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
he
know.
was episode like 68 or something like 70.
Are you kidding me?
We're almost like
Yeah.
a year behind.
So next year, maybe.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe we need a season 2 or 3. What season are we on?
season 2.
A season 2 belt or something.
Well, we need to
Yeah.
just pull a little bit out of our YouTube monies and buy a second belt and
there you
get that
go.
thing in the rotation. Then we can just kind of double the content and
Get like 6 of them going around the country.
Papa, you'll be at the Expo, correct?
Correct. Got my room booked. Got my ticket purchased.
Good deal.
Awesome.
We can sit down, celebrate this there.
hell yeah.
Sounds good.
Hey, and Olee, how do you save some money if you're going to go to VIE?
Oh yeah.
There's a 50% off coupon, TFF 50, and if you register right now, it's $12.50. And to be honest with you, the way I look at it is, if you think you're going to go, you can register right now for $12.50. And if you don't go, you basically just bought 2 Mexican beers at a restaurant and it's gone. But if you wait until the day of, you're looking at $100 to get in the gate.
Mhm.
So it's a whole lot better to pre-register. Go ahead and be registered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Save that money now.
Yeah, TFF 50 will get you.
Plus, it shows a little commitment to going too.
Yes.
Get your ticket now. You're a little bit more committed.
Yeah.
Plus
This
you
is
get
my
like a
first one.
badge
My
in the
first
mail
one.
and
So I'm
stuff.
excited.
It's well
Yeah,
worth.
Are you going, Bill?
Yes, I'm going this year. Finally.
Same. I
well
just got to
worth.
find somebody's bathtub to sleep in.
Me and Ole, we each got a place to stay. They can each sleep up to 4.
There's
Yeah.
lots of
I'm,
alleys, man. There's lots of alleys all around those buildings. So
There's a couple
Yeah.
people that sleep under the bridge.
yeah, bridges.
I might be one of those.
Don't let that stop you. There's plenty of room in the
I'm going to
towns.
send Olee some money, and I'm staying with Olee. He's got the big room.
Yeah, man.
All right, so back to weeders. So let's show off our little wheel here.
Let's get some weed.
So we got 31 entries for the Landsy Weeder. Thanks again to Landsy for giving these away to our viewers. So there's going to be 3 winners. So let me shuffle this 3 times. We'll go full screen.
How many names we got in there, Brian?
31 names. So you had to be here early, right?
Live chat.
We didn't promote this. We didn't announce this. It's kind of for the regular viewers that show up. We didn't want to have like 100 people showing up and stuff. So we have 31 names in here, and I will spin it for the first one. Here we go.
Look at that.
Right
Hey,
on, lottery.
lottery.
All right.
Man.
I even shortened it down by 3 seconds because all these other ones we used to do is like that person almost got it and then it
It
just
was like,
kept pushing
"Oh."
on. So like, I'll slow it down 3 seconds. But yeah, no,
Suspense.
congrats.
He's got to be
lottery.
up there with some of the top. It'd be cool if we kept track of who's won the most prizes. I think it's LTZ, but
I don't know. Lucky Green. is right
but it would be
there.
cool
Yeah.
to see like all the stacks of prizes that people have. Like,
Mhm.
because Lawn Radiance, I know he's won quite a bit too.
God, you'd have to watch every
Yeah.
episode, like, and really
I
pay
know.
attention.
Well, you know what I
Exactly.
want. Speaking of watching every episode, what I really want to do is get like a clip of like us going grab a glass, like on each episode.
Oh yeah.
That'd be kind of crazy. Yeah.
But I was like, I almost started doing it the other day. I'm like, fuck that.
116. How we've started it. That'd be
Or at least just grab like a handful of them. And just
Yeah.
make it short, like little 6-second or 10-second story or
even
clip.
if you
That'd
did
be
like every 20th one, you'd still have like 5 of them to do. Almost 6. All right, here we
You
go.
could pull a word from each episode. Grab another episode.
Oh man, that'd be chaotic.
All right.
All right, let's
Lindsay
see.
Weeder number two.
Number 2.
Here we go.
Whoa, Papa.
Come on.
Almost. Congrats, Eli's. See, now if I would have left the 3 seconds on there, Papa, you probably would have got that. So
Oh well,
He
Oh,
dropped
well.
the
He's
fish.
already the winner. He's the king right now.
that's right.
that's right.
That's right. Congrats, Eli's.
He could be like last week's Lawn of the Winter. One Lawn of the Month or Lawn of the Weekend prize.
Mm-hmm.
A couple people have done that.
Pays to
All
be in the
right.
live chat.
Here goes our third and final Lindsay Weeder. Hey.
Oh, see?
What?
Wow, there you go, man.
What? How'd that happen?
You can use it on those tumbleweeds.
Yes, sir. The long roots.
That's
There
right.
you go. You needed that too.
Got them
Come on down,
dandelions.
dandelions. All right. Garage is open. They can hear me.
Go to town.
That's all.
Hell yeah.
Are you cold out there?
No, it's hot, dude. I've been sweating all night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like 75 degrees today.
Wow.
The sun sets behind me, so the garage just like gets cooking.
Yeah, sure.
Y'all hotter than we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 65 out right now.
Good God. So here I've been worried about fungicides because all the rain. But every night this week's been in the 40s. Every night's going to be in the 40s. So
We're 60s, 50s.
We're gonna
finally
cool down
get
again.
70s next week.
Next week it's going to be low 60s and into the 40s. So we just had a real warm up this weekend.
Yep, we're going back down.
Mhm.
It's all good though.
Back to
Hopefully,
regular.
we're going to finally get some rain coming up at the end of the week. Everything says like 50, 40% chance. It said that before, and then no rain actually showed up. So I'm hopeful that because it's so many days in a row, at least one of those days we'll get a decent rain. So I might spray some humic acid or some sea hume or something, getting ready for that. I really want to get some of that down, but I don't want to bust out the sprinklers full blown just yet. I'm kind of sad to get them out at the very beginning of May.
All right, guys. Well, this was a good show. I enjoyed talking about them. I'm going to be ready for my weeds when they pop up here shortly and try some new things out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate all you guys coming on tonight, joining us and talking about your experiences. We love having you guys on to share your experiences with us. And of course, we can't do without the live chat. Love you guys.
Hey, what do you guys want to hear us talk about next week?
Oh yeah, before we close it out, what can we talk about?
We never have
about-
anything planned, just for reference.
I mean, we got
Chat comes up with
ideas.
something good.
Nate had a whole bunch of good suggestions in our little group chat the other day, so we could always pull from some of that. But yeah, if there's something that you guys want to hear about,
And yeah, if
let
there's
us know.
something you guys think,
Papa,
we did get a good
there.
discussion about bugs there for a little bit, but we can save that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were gonna almost talk about disease too. I got a little mildewy dust stuff on my tips.
musty.
I'm throwing down my
That's a
herbicide.
little-
That's another
my
good
tips
one.
are a little dusty, so
Okay, a little antibiotic
Soil
takes care of it.
compaction.
A little pesticide will take care of that.
Oh, my goodness.
Some of that diflucan. Oh, that's for people. Never mind.
You got the
gotta talk to Bill offline here. He's the pharmacist, so
Somebody said sprinklers.
sprinklers,
Yeah,
summer heat,
Yeah.
survivability.
It's
Rotors
getting-
versus
We just
pop-up.
talked a lot with Hunter on that.
Soil compaction.
Ooh.
All right. Got a few ideas. We'll toss it around, see if we can come up with a show about any of those.
What
We
you
got about
smoking
Papa
there,
with the
Joe?
shirt on. Papa, you got the 107 shirt on, right?
Yeah.
No, he's black.
Yeah, which one are you wearing, Papa? Is that that's the one with Brittany on it?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the new one? Yeah.
I thought they
107.
were purple for some reason.
No,
Which
the
one was
100.
That was a different one.
The 100th is the purple one.
Ah,
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us in the chat. Thank you for Lansy for giving away these weeders. And
Yeah, man. Thank you, Live Chat.
thanks everybody for showing up. We'll see you next week.
Congrats, Papa.